In a region ravaged by insurgency, where thousands are homeless, starving, and desperate for hope, one man sees a golden opportunity to cash in. While displaced Nigerians prayed for aid, Babachir Lawal, the secretary to the government of the Federation, had other plans. Back in 2016, Lawal oversaw the Presidential Initiative for the Northeast, a government program set up to help internally displaced persons, a project meant to deliver life-saving humanitarian aid to communities devastated by Boko Haram. Instead, what emerged was a bizarre, almost laughable contract. It was for the removal of invasive plant species, simplified irrigation, and the provision of consultancy services in Yobe State. What kind of consultancy do you need to uproot grass? It didn't matter to Babachir that IDPs were starving in camps, children were dying from malnutrition, and communities were crumbling. When news of the scandal broke, Nigerians were outraged. How could such heartlessness exist? The Senate launched an investigation and didn't mince words. They discovered that the contract was awarded to companies allegedly linked to Lawal himself, and Lawal signed off on them. In December 2016, the Senate called for Lawal's resignation and further investigation, citing conflicts of interest, outright fraud, and abuse of office. Initially, President Buhari defended Lawal, saying due process had not been followed in the Senate's accusations. But public pressure mounted, and in April 2017, Buhari suspended Lawal and set up a panel headed by then Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to investigate. In October 2016, Buhari officially sacked Babachir Lawal from his position as SGF following the panel's report. This was seen as a major move, especially as he was Buhari's close ally. It was a rare instance of accountability in a government known for shielding its loyalists. In 2019, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, arrested Lawal and charged him with fraud and conspiracy. He faced trial on multiple counts related to the diversion of public funds, abuse of office, and conspiracy. The case limped through the justice system, and in November 2022, the High Court of the FCT shockingly acquitted Babachir Lawal and his co-defendants. The court claimed the prosecution had failed to establish a prima facie case. No direct evidence, no linkage to procurement boards, no convictions. In plain English, the prosecution botched it. Despite public outcry, Lawal walked free. That's the Nigerian elite class for you. Scandal-proof, justice-resistant, and always untouchable. This is how justice often bends for the connected. Let's put this in perspective. 544 million could have built schools, hospitals, or real shelters for those affected by Boko Haram. That money was blood-stained, taken from the pockets of the poor, from widows, from orphans, and from communities that already had nothing left to give. Corruption is not a victimless crime. Babachir Lawal's greed had victims, real people who suffered and died. Let's be brutally honest. This isn't about one man. It's about a system that rewards theft and punishes honesty. It's about a nation so numbed by corruption that we don't even flinch anymore. But we should. We must, because every time we forget, another Babachir is born. Another opportunity to steal is created. Nigerians must stop treating corruption as normal. It's not normal to pay over 500 million naira to cut grass. And it is not normal for public servants to loot disaster relief funds. And where is Babachir now? Not behind bars, not held accountable, but walking free. active on social media, sometimes even offering political advice like a statesman. That's the real madness. In a country where the poor are jailed for stealing bread, Babachir Lawal strolled through the ruins of a humanitarian crisis and handed himself a fat contract. As of May 2025, instead of facing justice, he was busy giving interviews and talking strategy for the 2027 political coalition. Justice in Nigeria remains a joke, and he's living proof. This is what impunity looks like: bold, unashamed, and televised. So, what are you going to do about it? Shrug, scroll, or speak up? Here's your call to action. Don't forget, don't move on. Demand real accountability. Share this story. If we stay silent, these scandals would continue. Demand accountability. Flood your timeline with truth. Support organizations that fight corruption. Ask questions even when it's uncomfortable, because silence is endorsement. And if we stay quiet, we're complicit.